From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, time once again for another edition of The Horse's Mouth here at Tommy Mac's, of course, at my bar, brought to our good friends at Dasher and Hot Spring Spas of Jacksonville. We had a great show for you lined up. Coach Campo's here. Major Harding is here. Tanya Dee Holland is here talking about franchises. And Schmooze with Suze. Host Suzie Becker's here as well. Let's welcome in the panel. Tanya, how are you?
Great. Thank you, Tom.
Welcome. That was a mouthful, wasn't it? Jeez.
You did well.
Thank you. The franchise guru. I'm assuming we're talking franchises. How many do you represent?
Represent over 750.
Holy
there are over 3,200 in the United States, but
Wow.
we have chosen the right 750, and
Okay.
we help people align with the right franchise.
Okay. Is it geographic determined? Like, I mean, if you're in Jacksonville, you have an opportunity for certain kind of franchises, or how does that?
No, it's a good question. What we do, Tom, is we work with the client as far as what they want. And so if they're in California and they're moving to Florida, we'll find something in Florida for them. And vice versa. We have some gentlemen right now who are buying a multi-million-dollar franchise up in Atlanta.
Okay.
And they're coming from the Northeast.
Okay.
So it kind of depends on what the client's looking for.
Absolutely. Is there a favorite kind of franchise you like working with?
I thought you'd ask that
what do
question.
you-
You know, actually, we look at the industries that are right for our clients because we do an analysis with the client. We walk them through a very structured system and process, hold their hand, walk them through that 300, 400-page franchise disclosure document, and help them understand everything so that they can start off successful.
So cool.
So in answer to your question as far as favorites, it is the favorite of what the client's favorite is, right?
Yeah, that's a fit and works
Absolutely.
for them. Great.
Absolutely.
Well, great to have you on the show.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for sharing
Thank you
that.
for
Suzie
inviting.
Becker's here. Hey, Suzie.
Hey, Tom.
Schmooze with Suze podcast, huh?
Yes,
Very
yes.
cool. Somewhat of a new venture. You're in year 2?
Year 2, just launching season 4.
Awesome. Communication background. How'd you get into the podcast world?
Great question. I was a sociology major in college because it didn't have a math or science requirement.
Okay.
Turned out that watching groups of people and how they interact with each other was going to become something I became passionate about.
Awesome.
And once you start studying people, you want to solve problems.
Yep.
So I am no expert. I found a way to schmooze the experts and get their thoughts.
Ooh.
So that when we engage with our kids or our colleagues or committees that we may be on, we can learn to advocate about our own community through the experts, the stakeholders, the people who really are thought leaders here where we're raising our kids here in Jacksonville.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So how did you get to that point where you're like, you know what, this has got to happen?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
Someone asked me to donate $10,000 to a cause, and they said, I promise, if you give us your money, we're pretty confident that you probably will love the message that we represent on your behalf.
Right.
And I thought to myself, well, I've got a pretty good speaking voice.
Yeah.
Who better to represent my thoughts than me?
You're right.
So I made the investment in myself.
Cool.
A lot like what you talked about,
Absolutely.
Tanya, right?
Got to take that risk, man.
Yeah.
Right? Major Harding, how are you, pal?
Hey, Tom.
Welcome back. You love entrepreneurs, man.
yeah.
You love all that stuff, don't you?
I love seeing businesses succeed and giving people the opportunity to succeed and to talk about the success is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Campo, how are you, bud?
I'm good.
I know you love hearing about the ladies and what they're doing, man.
Absolutely. Listen,
So cool.
Every NFL football player is an entrepreneur in his own right.
That's, you know what, you're in business for yourself.
He's working for himself.
No doubt.
And obviously he becomes a team, but the individual himself has got to look at what's going forward with him, and that's a great part of it.
What do you got for the ladies when the day's not going the way they want it to go? Because you know, as a head coach, you go through those days, right? What kind of advice would you maybe give them?
Well,
give all of us?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing for me was that you have to stay positive even on the negative days.
Yep.
You know, you've got to look at it like, we're going to make this better. We're going to do something that's going to give us an opportunity to be better.
Yep.
And that's adjustments that you make during a football game.
Yep.
You know, you're going through a ball game, things are not going well, you've got one or two choices. You can let it keep going badly, or you can make an adjustment that gives you an opportunity.
Right. Recalibrate.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes,
I know
yes.
this, you guys, what we all do, but being consistent, right? Content is king. You got to keep bringing it, just like you do, because people, you know, when they like it, then it's next thing you know, know, they're telling their friends, this is where you find it. It's always there when they're looking for it, and for you as well, right?
That's
Finding that right mix and match for that person to be caught up with that franchise, man. You got to be consistent with that approach.
Yeah, that's right. And a lot of it's mental. We're all working with that with our clients, and definitely with those with whom you speak. We work with also helping them with the fears and helping them get past their own obstacles, right?
Yeah, hearing their stories, just like what you said before. It was, talking about stories, how people interact with each other is the way they tell their story. It's also how they engage with other people.
Absolutely.
So, when you get their story, you can find out what their passion point is to mix that franchise.
Positive messaging.
Always.
You got to have that attitude of the glass is more than half full. It's not half empty.
I think I would say you can't say blanket statement. I think a lot of people would like to tell their story. And
that's
you just got to give them. That's what's great about this show.
Situation here. That's why I like it so much because everybody's got a story, and it's great to hear different people what they.
It's different every time. Absolutely awesome. It's so cool. Well, keep up the great work. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And best of luck moving forward. Make sure you check out their great profiles, this conversation, and hundreds of others at dailynewsnetwork.com. Until next time, y'all stay safe out there and be cool. We'll see you right here on the Horse's Mouth. Cheers.
Cheers.
The coach should be going to bed at night thinking about the athlete and how they're going to help that athlete improve. They shouldn't be worrying about how am I going to quantify their improvement, or am I going to have to keep up with all this information? Those things that are kind of background to the coach focusing there on the athlete. And so what Dasher does is it takes all those side things away, allowing the coach to focus then on the athlete.